Hey everybody, welcome back to BobkeTV. It is breakfast time. Today, the ideal breakfast for me when I was a bike racer. Oatmeal with blueberries and a little bit of butter. Super simple to make. Complex carbohydrates, fresh fruit, and this is my favorite breakfast. Copper pot. The stovetop coffee is on the boil, so my day is about to improve dramatically. This is made by Moviel in France. It has a great non-stick properties and tremendous heat, even heat disbursement. So cold water. The oatmeal on the box recommends that you measure out the proportions, but I just sort of eyeball it. Bring the water to a boil while the coffee is getting ready to go. I love that sound. This is a stainless steel stovetop coffee maker made by Alessio in Italy, and fills me with great joy every single morning. All right, your water has come to a roiling boil and the coffee's ready. Got my maple syrup in there. So yummy. I'm ready to start the day. Take the oats and start pouring them in gently, gradually, into the boiling water. Stir them up as you do that. And what I'm looking for is the right consistency, and I'll know it when I get there. But stir them in gradually, and that looks about right. Doesn't often work that well. Most of the time I have to go back to the box and get more, but this is going to work out perfectly. Let that come back to a boil, and add the blueberries. The blueberries out of the refrigerator are a little bit cold and will be absolutely delicious, just is, but inside the oatmeal, it's nice if they come up to the same temperature as the oats when you serve them. So I put them in pretty early. Nice and plump, big handful, clean them off. Don't drop any, these are precious. Sometimes the oats come up to the edge, and just before they boil over, cool them down a little bit, and then it doesn't boil over. With that, stir them up periodically. I like a little butter in my oatmeal. If you're on a low fat diet, you probably don't want big chunks of butter in your oatmeal, which is perfectly legitimate, but I like to cook my oatmeal with a little bit of butter. That's probably a tablespoon and a half. If I'm going to do a much longer ride, I will put more butter in probably. It's nice to have the coffee handy. Think about what route I'm going to do. As the water boils down, the oats get this smooth consistently that's so gratifying and delicious. Once I put a little bit of butter in and the blueberries in, or bananas or blackberries or whatever I'm going to put in there, it generally doesn't boil over anymore. So you don't have to stand right over the top of it. At this point, I'm starting to think about what route I'm going to do, what clothing that I've laid out previously I might need to add to or subtract from, depending on what the weather's like. That is such a good sound. I'm going to add a few more blueberries. Just because that looks so delicious. Stir those in there. Just a lot of oatmeal. I'm going to have to do a long ride today. If I'm unable to finish it all, I usually save some for right when I get back from a ride. Some of the blueberries will oftentimes split apart as I stir them up. And so you have this nice dark blue, light purple color. And it's just so insanely delicious. Well, now I'm getting really hungry. What I'm looking for is the right consistency so that enough water has boiled off and the oats are nice and smooth. And in about 30 seconds should be perfect. Stir it a couple more times. Oh yeah. When it starts to get really thick on the bottom and you stir that back up to the top and mix it over, you're ready. Another thing you can look for is the size of the bubbles as they come up, as they boil from the bottom up. And once they're less frequent and a little bit larger, you are ready for some oatmeal. This pan, by the way, was a present from Ronan Pensek, a rider I used to race with. He had gotten the yellow jersey in the 1990 tour and got married that fall and came to my house in Santa Fe, New Mexico to buy a Harley Davidson motorcycle and came with $15,000 in cash in $100 bills. And he handed it to me when he got to the house from the airport, and he said, "I would like the Harley." And so we went to Albuquerque to the Harley Davidson dealership, and we handed the owner of the shop the money, and he had just gotten in within the last couple of days a brand new, absolutely gorgeous Heritage Softail, and Ronan had never ridden a motorcycle before. So he's there in New Mexico with his bride, recently married, and a brand new motorcycle, and I had to teach him how to actually ride a motorcycle. And between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, we spent a couple of hours, and obviously being a professional cyclist, he had the right balance and could actually stay on top of the motorcycle, but the shifting and the braking and all that. And so As a thank you, he brought a set of copper pots and pans, and I still have it to this day, and it makes the most delicious oatmeal. One last stir. Oh, baby. Looks like I'm gonna have some extra. So when I get done writing, big pile of the most perfect cyclist breakfast imaginable. I think I'm gonna feel really good at some point on my bike ride today. All right, everybody. Click on my face to subscribe to BobkeTV. Click on the t-shirts for merchandise. Any comments you'd like to make? What's your perfect breakfast? Facebook and Twitter. And please give me the thumbs up. Thanks a lot.